The oldest recorded case of cancer comes from ancient Egypt in 3000 BC. Since then, we are trying to understand that disease. And in our journey to do so, we discovered a biological paradox that remains unsolved. To understand why it is one, we first need to know what cancer is. Cancer arises as normal cells accumulate mutations and refuse to die. Every living cell has an equal chance of becoming cancerous. So big animals should have a higher risk of developing cancer than small ones, since they have much more cells. It turns out that there isn't a link between body mass and cancer rates, and larger animals have even lower ones. This is our paradox, known as Peto's paradox. Scientists think there are two main ways to explain it: evolution and hypertumors. Solution 1. Evolution. Imagine that all animals have always played a video game called the evolution game, a cancer edition. The aim is to kill the enemies, the oncogene monsters that cause cancer. The bigger the animal is, the more it upgrades to higher levels, the more enemies it gets, and the more coins it earns to buy cancer-proof weapons known as GSD to beat those monsters. They cost 2 coins. For example, in this game, player 1, the whale, is at level 40 and has 40 monsters but 100 coins, so it bought 50 GSD and overcame the monsters. Player 2, the mouse, is at level 4 and has 8 monsters but only 6 coins, so it can only buy 3 GSD. As a result, it got beaten by the oncogene monsters. So, as pictured in the video game, large animals in real life have an increased number of GSD, which makes them cancer-proof. But this comes with a cost. We aren't sure of it yet, but the popular one seems to be the lower rates of reproduction. On to solution 2, hypertumors. Hypertumors are tumors of tumors. To understand what that means, imagine this time that a chessboard is inside an animal, and the pawn is a cancer cell. This pawn creates an army called tumor. One day, one of the pawns starts thinking of itself as an individual, so it stops cooperating and creates its army called hypertumors to kill the tumor army. That process repeats itself many times, and it may prevent large animals from having cancer, since they may have a high number of these hypertumors. They might grow small, which won't create a problem for big animals since it represents only a tiny fraction of their body mass. There are other solutions proposed to Peto's paradox, such as different metabolic rates or cellular architecture. But again, every solution proposed is just theoretical. We don't know yet. Scientists are still working on it. But why Peto's paradox? Why should we care? Well, solving it will increase our understanding of cancer and find new solutions to developing cancer prevention.